Hello! I'm going to share with you one of the ways I have found very helpful and relaxing for practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being completely in the moment. Forget about your past, your future, your stress. Using all of your senses, focus on what you're feeling and thinking right at this moment. I learned about mindfulness as a DBT skill, which stands for Dialectical Behavioral Theory, developed by Dr. Marcia M. Linhan and published in 1993. For more information on that, check out the Linhan Institute's website linked below. One of the reasons therapists teach mindfulness is that it allows us to take a step back from life and realize, I am okay right now at this moment, which can be very helpful in times of distress. So what I like to do to practice mindfulness as opposed to other forms of meditation is to doodle, but not just mindless scribbles and caricatures. I'm referring to something similar to Zentangles or Zentangle-inspired art. Zentangles were created by Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas, and although I am not a certified Zentangle teacher, I will link to their website so that you can get more information about the specific Zentangle process on your own. Here's what you'll need: a pen or a marker, no pencils, I'll explain why in a minute, some blank paper, and an environment where you can focus. Using a pen or marker rather than a pencil is part of the trick for making this a mindful activity. Now, what I'm about to say, I want you to keep in your head for the rest of the video. There are no mistakes. Really. While practicing mindfulness, you literally cannot make a mistake. Everything that happens in the moment simply happens. You take note of it and continue on. If you're using a pencil during your mindfulness exercise, you'll be too tempted to go back and erase bits, which isn't part of the deal.
Created using Powtoon.
So let's get to it. Grab your pen or marker and draw some random lines or strings across your paper. Usually people do curvy lines that randomly crisscross, but do whatever feels good. Remember to use your senses. How does the pen feel in your hand? What sounds does it make as you drag it across the paper? Personally, the sound of a Sharpie marker on thick artist paper is really soothing to me and helps me focus on the moment, which is why I've continued to use Zentangles as a mindfulness practice. After you have some lines, you'll see you now have several smaller sections in which to doodle. In my experience with this, mindful doodling relies mainly on patterns because the repetition and shapes are usually easier, making it less stressful for those of us who are still learning to be okay with the whole no mistakes concept. While I'm drawing, I want you to take note that while it may look like I'm gliding through this perfectly in spite of having to cut the video in order to actually fit my whole Zentangle in here, what I'm really doing is I'm not stopping to correct mistakes. I'm reminding myself that there aren't any, and I'm also allowing myself to experience the way the pen moves, how the paper crinkles, how the light looks, how the shapes look together, the smell of the ink, etc. It's not hard to let your mind wander to other things, but this is why I like doodling for my meditation, because it gives me something concrete and positive to redirect my thoughts to if I get distracted. I'm not going to teach you any patterns or other techniques. You can Google them and you can find a lot of information on the Zentangle website. Also, I'm not a certified Zentangle teacher. But I want you to experiment and not weigh yourself down with preconceived notions about how you should be doing this. Just grab your supplies and practice. You'll learn a cool new form of art and a stress reliever all at the same time. Thanks for watching.